जिनसे 5-6 बजे नहीं बनवानी है आपने, उनसे भी बनवानी है।
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Paridhi. Good afternoon, Prerna. Good afternoon, Dashmi, and the other leapers. Welcome to another session of from the leapers. I hope you might have attended other sessions as well. In today's session, we are going to have a more. It's not a session. It's not something which you have not heard before. I can assure you that. It's mostly you have heard it before, but we will going to do it together. We are going to do it in a group, and we are going to decode our fears, our apprehensions
अगम,
to travel alone.
वो कानों
So
वाले बट दियो मेरे।
a couple of things. Can you please go on mute and keep your videos on so that we can see each other and have a good time for the next 1 hour. This is going to be interactive, as I have told you. Feel free to ask any questions anytime. We are going to talk about it. It's just a chit chat session. So how we are going to do this? For the first 20 or 30 odd minutes, I'm going to talk about PPT slides where the questions would be there, and I'm going to tell you about me. I mean, how I am here and what exactly, how can I help you with. And then the next 30 minutes we are going to have a chit chat, your apprehensions, your questions. We have a couple of ambassadors, travel buddy ambassadors, who are avid travelers. So you can directly ask them questions. They are those people who travel like 20 days in a month. Definitely they have a lot to talk about. But before that, let's get started with um, again, feel free to tell me any questions in between. We will be more than happy to take up. Okay, so traveling solo. You must be wondering, why we should be traveling solo, or whether the solo thing is very common or not. So let me tell you very staggering information. Just give me a second. Let me tell you some very staggering information. In 2020, this particular data has been I have get it from OYO. In 2020, women is traveled more than solo travel has done more than the men. So you can see that solo traveling in India is booming in the past couple of years. And if you're remotely even thinking about solo, you're in the right direction. And so before even we move forward, I wanted to understand, what are you going to expect from this particular event? We are going to talk. It's going to be an interactive session. As I mentioned, 30 minutes, we are going to talk about this particular PPT, why solo, what are the things when you can get started. If you want to get started with solo, what are the things which you can do. Then we have a couple of ambassadors who are here, and I have compiled those questions. We are going to talk about this question and answers. But before even we move any further, why solo? I wanted to understand, why do you want to solo? Do you want to take up this question? This is, as I said, interactive. Do you want to say, why do you want to travel solo? Anybody? Please unmute yourself, just be my guest. Let's talk. Let's break the ice. Girls, and why solo? Monica, you want to say why solo? Yeah, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me, why solo? Why do you want to try solo?
Somehow I'm not able. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can hear me?
Now you're
Yeah,
right. Yes, please.
Okay. So, firstly, hello everyone. This is Monica. I'm from Bangalore, and luckily, I'm one of the Travel Buddy ambassadors here in Bangalore. I will just go ahead with the question that Parumita asked. So, first time when I traveled solo, my reason was I was just, I was just unable to think in all that clutter with all the people around, and especially the people who know you, your friends, family, and just needed some space. And at the same time, I wanted that space apart from the, environment that I'm daily into. like somewhere away from my routine. So I thought, why not kind of try that? And when I first tried, it was in college. So that's the reason I started. But in general, I also think that sometimes when you need that time with yourself, the reason could be anything. The reason could be just to introspect about your choices, or to just think about something, or just to even travel for the love of travel, and you don't have anybody else who wants to tag along during that time frame. So it could be anything, but the idea is to just 2 points which you could take away. One is spending time with yourself, and the other is just for the love of travel. That's all.
I totally get that, and I totally understand. Different people have different reason for travel solo. So I'm sure you must have your reason. Anybody else want to put up anything interesting? You why do you even remotely thinking about solo? So here is my reasons for traveling solo. You need a break. It's as simple as that. Whichever whichever yeah.
People who are writing in chat, can you please unmute and express your views, like Akriti, Vaishali?
Wonderful. Vaishali, why don't you say? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Vaishali. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry. I have a bad throat and I'm not feeling
Oh,
well.
no.
That's why I
Oh,
was.
I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely planning my first solo trip on my birthday, which is next month, and I thought that I should give myself this because I wanted to spend some time with my own self rather than just partying here and there. So yeah, that was one of my major
Yes.
reasons to this trip.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes just a book, and sometimes even nothing, you're not even doing anything, just gazing the beautiful mountain or on a sea. It can be a therapeutic experience. Akriti, Aurora, why don't you tell us why do you want to travel solo? What is your reason to travel solo or remotely thinking of traveling solo? Akriti.
Yeah,
Hi.
hi. So I'm someone who likes spending time with myself, so that's why I want to, experience that solo trip, and also meet new people, stay in a homestay, like live a very different life from what I am in the city. So also all of these travel hostels, I've never been in one, but that is also one of the things I want to um, experience, being solo in a travel hostel, so that you get to like meet new people. And I've heard that there are a lot of activities in the evening, and you end up making a lot of new friends, people from very different backgrounds. So that is also one other reason I want to try a solo trip.
Absolutely valid, and not only valid, it's like, yes, any reason is good. So here are, I have compiled the 3 reasons which can be the reasons if you're thinking about solo, or if you have done it or we have not done it. This is the reasons where you can fit in somewhere. A, you need a break. B, yes, you have heard it absolutely correctly, right, in the right form. This is liberating. Solo travel in any form is absolutely liberating. You do it once, you realize it. Now how liberating it can be. It open the various horizons in your life. You're stuck in your life, you travel. You're happy, you travel. You're sad, you travel. I have done that when I had my breakup. So I can assure you for that it's definitely going to be liberating. And the third thing is even more important, and here also we have heard it. Solo travel is all about you. It is not even about the place. It is not even about the commute. It is all about you. Yeah, here this is the way you're saying that I am taking care of myself. Especially women in whichever phase of life of you are, but most of the time we are being nurtured that we have to take care of others. Solo travel gives you that opportunity to become self-aware, become self with your own self-interest, and it is all about. So travel, so if whatever is your reason, this 3 reason I hope would be help you to do the first solo travel from here. That you need a break, it is liberating, and it is all about you. Welcome everyone. My name is Paromita. I am the co-founder and growth head of Travel Buddy. I have 14 years of corporate experience. I started in as a project manager. My local my expertise is in project management, and then 2 years back, I decided to leave my corporate job and do travel buddy as a as a product. It is, and the last 2 years was so liberating, and the various experiences which I've heard. Obviously, I used to love travel. I have traveled myself, sometimes not exact entirely solo, but with friends. With once I did it almost with the stranger, with the group, with non-group, a lot of activities. Then I met my husband, and then we both have the love for travel. That also kind of accentuate my old travel experience. But for the last 2 years, I have met so many avid travelers from this platform that it kind of, even I am becoming more liberated with that. And another thing which is which makes me do this particular event as well, for that was completely for my own personal self interest, and that is I want to have more and more women in the travel segment, and in as leisure, as traveling as a leisure, as well as a business. That's what my personal goal is. And that is where Travel Buddy also comes into picture. Now, what is Travel Buddy? We are a world's thoda sa exaggerate kiya hai janbujh ke, but yes, in India I can safely say that we are the largest social travel network and direct to customer marketplace. We have 1 million travelers across the globe in the platform. Mostly right now we are completely focusing on India, so almost 70 to 80% of our travelers are from India. So we got something in chat. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, okay. Roshni is saying something. I had a chat. Why don't you say it in front? We are very couple of close knit. I think it's good that we can hear the story. Roshni, can you please say? Can you please tell us your experience? Roshni, you there? So it's okay. We can move ahead, and we will hear the Roshni stories later. So this is about Travel Buddy. And this is about me, actually. Okay. So who's there? Who's this? Vidhi, you're saying something?
Yes, I was saying she's on a client call. She put it in the chat.
Okay, lovely. So today's I'm coming back to our agenda. Being a project management, agenda becomes very important to me, and the time and the schedule. So this is what we are going to do. This is how we are going to have the session. This is how we're going to interact on these particular topics, because travel can be like vast thing. So I have picked up a couple of things which is more crucial and become very important, because I know even I was in 20s and I have deal with all these kind of questions. Okay, how to deal with safety and security. That is the first thing. Where to start? I want to start solo traveling. How to I started? Permissions for a person like a Vidhi who is in her early 20s, for a person like me who is in early 40s, for guilt. I have to leave my children. For Vidhi, she has to ask her parents. Solo, whether solo means solo or whether it is in group. Very valid question, and I have come up with in the Leap one. Very valid question. Like solo means like, shall I take up a book and just read it in some mountains? Honestly, I'm not that kind of a person. So solo is not meant for me. So we will also explore that kind of a mission. Solo means, is it alone or it can be in group? Then the one interesting topic, which is budget travel. How to, budget the whole thing, expenses, the whole thing. How to do that. The first topic, which is very close, and we at least as a platform also, we take care very cautiously, are the safety and security. How to do that, how to manage the safety security when you're traveling alone, when you're in group, and right now as a platform also safety and security, because that's the first thing. Is it because I remember 4 years back when my husband Saurav, he's the founder of that, he told me about this particular thing, where a traveler can connect with another traveler and travel together. My first question was, is it safe? Being a woman, this is my first question, and I'm hearing this question time and again. So this is my take. I'm going to explain in the next slide about the platform, but before that, let's talk about in the solo, because right now we are the tips and tricks to travel solo, how to manage the safety thing. This is my couple of my observations, my own personal experiences, and what I've heard from other avid travelers. This is what I have compiled, and we can also learn from the travelers who are here as well. First thing, simple: plan ahead. You need to plan your first day very well. You're in the new place. You don't know about the destination. Google is the best place. You'll get a lot of website, lot of things. So plan your plan ahead. Choose your destination wisely. Very important. You don't want to go, for example, if you're planning to, I would suggest, don't go to absolutely new place. Start from something nearby. So if I'm in Delhi, let me try Rishikesh first before I going to absolutely like maybe a Arunachal or absolutely a Kashmir. It's a good places, definitely. Goa, Gokarna is the places which is very common in every circuit, but choose the destination wisely. For me, to start with, something nearby, go with nearby, which you have a comfortable, even in language, attire and everything. I'm comfortable in those places. Where are you going to stay? This is very important. Whether it is a luxury stay, whether it's a budget stay, whether it's a hostel, you need to know about it, because sometimes we get a little jittery when we don't know about this stuff. That's the reason planning become very important. What is the kind of temperature, where are we going to stay, what are the distances between it? Let's just say unrealistic planning, we did it. And so to not to do that, plan ahead, Google it, research it. We have another very quick fix solution which we have done is connect with the local in Travel Buddy. Travel Buddy is basically, as I have mentioned in my earlier slide, we have 1 million travelers in the app. You can check with them. Vidhi is sitting in Pune, she can tell you about the Pune thing. So if somebody is going to Pune, okay, what are the things to visit in Pune? Vidhi might be, connect to you and say, okay, you can see this. I'm giving these as an examples. So this is how this particular plan ahead and connect with the local works. Keep numbers on speed dial, very important. Obviously, you will keep your family's number on speed dial and others number. Another very important thing is that keep the local numbers in the speed dial as well. For example, you have connected with the transport when you reached Jaipur. Keep that in speed dial as well. Also research for, in that particular Jaipur area, wherever you are, research for where are the local police numbers, women helpline are there. Just research, just keep it handy. God forbid, you would not ever need it. Because most of these, be skeptical is good, be cautious is good, but don't go overboard. Most of these, tourist place has to be good for women because that's their bread and butter. So you are comfortable, but the thing is that you need to be safe, you need to be cautious. So keep numbers on speed, touch base when you arrive. Obviously, always be in touch with your family. So I have arrived, you told. I am there, you told. So your whosoever is your loved one should know where are you. Giving live locations is another interesting and very important thing which you can do. Trust your intuition, very important. Woman has amazing, gut feeling. Let's go with that. Always be very, very cautious about, whether it is right or no. You are going for partying, you're going for drinking, do it. But, how much you should do, whether I should drink more today or whether I should not drink, trust your intuition. For the initial part, try to avoid it. Getting 1 or 2 drink is fine. Try not to get drunk or something. But on a longer run, if you're comfortable, then only do it. If you're not comfortable, if the gut feeling saying, nahi, kuch gadbad lag rahi hai, to just run. You don't have to stay. You will get many other opportunities to enjoy more. Let's tap those opportunities. Walk with confidence, because then so that you don't get fooled by those tourists in those touristy places. Travel during day. It is very important because sometimes it's okay, kuch nahi hoga, matlab safe hi hoga. It is written as very safe. Try to travel during the day. That's very important. But then especially in the first 2 days. Try to keep your plan during the day, and then when you're comfortable, things are fine, I know what to do, then you can definitely prolong your own travel. Pack light. This is another very important thing, because women, at least I know that you tend to matching shoes, matching this, but that packing light for a solo travel has become very important, because you have so many important things to manage. You may have a power bank, your medication, your other things. So those things are important. You cannot miss out those things. So yes, a shoe can be chopped off for now. Having comfortable clothes, extra pair of t-shirts is good enough, but pack light so that you can carry those essentials, which is absolutely necessary. Maybe a power bank would be more important rather than. When you feel threatened, reach out to the nearest touristic place. This is very commonsensical, but sometimes when you're threatened, it goes out of the window. So if somebody is, following you, or you feel that somebody is following you, go to a restaurant and talk to somebody. That kind of, push the other person on the back foot. That keeps them safe. Travel buddy, how we manage, as a platform, Okay, how do we manage, safety and security in our platform? So we have okay. So we are, as we are a social platform, so we have every feature is in place. Unlike any other social platform, you can report the profile. We have rate and review the profile. You can block profile, block chat, report posts. Even your in your chat, the friends chat is different. Somebody from unknown, it came to a request that you want to chat or not, you can accept or select. And we have tried to follow the basic social model which is existing in worldwide. So that's how it is. Here the photographs which you can see, they are all real pictures from the app itself. Where to start? This is going to be very interesting. How you want to start it, if any one of you have not traveled solo. So these are the things which might help you on the longer run. Choose a destination, as I mentioned. I would suggest go for something nearer, but definitely choose a destination. You can choose a Goa, you can choose a Manali. Go for a common destination rather than absolutely uncommon destination. At least when you're starting. When you know the stuff, you know the drill, you can choose a different destination. Plan to the T. This is very important. Plan everything. Where are you going to stay? What are the locations? Transports. See, another thing which my personal thought is, be friendly with the, hotel people as well. They also be very super helpful most of the time. Because obviously, they want to earn, they have their cuts and all those things. It's a business thing. They don't want to mess up with their business. So rather than just going and talking to absolutely stranger and unknown, tell the hotel person that I need a transport facilities. And it will always give you at least the safety wala part is also covered, and definitely you know what to do and what not to do. But plan ahead what you want to see, what you don't want to see, and then ask for help from the hotel people and from the locals. Book in advance. This is interesting. It will also reduce your budgeting cost and everything. Now, the last photograph, even like this particular photograph, they are from different cities and they have connected through Travel Buddy. So it's very easy for anyone to connect to some strangers, because even like, look at this. We are like 16 odd people sitting here. We feel a little hesitant while talking to each other. So but then when you get into a social channel, you talk to some more time, and then when you find that okay, we have the same interest, same wavelength, that we both love to travel. And then when Madhu from Delhi goes to Bangalore, and she's already talking to Monica, so they connect to each other. She can show around the places. Monica knows Bangalore much more than Madhu. Madhu may see the Bangalore in a different light, but if Monica can give tips and tricks, it's much easier for her to go. That's the reason these platforms, the social platform, which has the travel vertical, which the mindset of a travel becomes so very important. Travel in daytime till the time you're familiar to the place. Make sure to keep updating your family, connect with the local. So this is the video which we have created during our Women's Day. This is very important because a lot of questions has come around this. So I just added this video here.
ना आपके पापा बलदेव सिंह है, ना आप सिमरन। इतने इजीली तो वो आपको नहीं कहेंगे जा सिमरन जा, जी ले अपनी जिंदगी, बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है।
I'm Paru. I started traveling for myself and all for myself back in 2017. And there were certain things that I learned the hard way. So this Women's Day, I decided to get in touch with these inspiring women travelers and learn from their experiences and their tried and tested tips, tricks, and hacks on how do they deal with these three major concerns while traveling. So let's see what they have to say. Come.
Is exciting, intriguing,
Enriching.
would be fulfilling. It was the best experience of my life.
So one of my tips is that you always choose a city for the first time wherein you already have some friends or known people that you can rely on.
You have to give them that sense of comfort that you'll be safe wherever you go. And for that, I had to do a lot of convincing. So the first thing that I did was to explain them what solo traveling is all about. Because they were a little bit new to the concept of it and they were extremely intrigued about how people travel alone. For that, I showed them Raw Diaries page, which helped a lot. Told them about few of my friends who traveled alone and how they managed their expenses, their stay, their food and everything, and especially their safety. And after that, I was good to go.
Life. Start off by going off on day trips close to your city. Build trust by keeping them posted on your whereabouts and connecting frequently. Gradually, they are bound to come around and be on the same page as you.
Would be to not go MIA for too long. Keep giving them updates on WhatsApp, be it by sending pictures or video calling them whenever possible. Once they know that you're safe and you're traveling well, convincing them next time is going to be much easier.
So I don't think any problem होनी चाहिए because आप सब कुछ share करते हो अपनी family के साथ में जब आप traveling के लिए निकलते हैं.
So firstly, please make sure that at least one person in your family or friends does know about your whereabouts throughout your solo travel.
My location. Everybody has the access of it. There are so many apps that let you know the live location of your train, your buses, where you're staying at.
Also, try staying at hostels where there are more people rather than staying alone in hotel rooms. So it always gives you a sense of more comfort and community.
Book a place of stay with good reviews and which is located at a place not too isolated. And second would be to be aware of the local transport in the area. Is do not keep your money in one place. Divide it. Divide it in different places, like in your bags, pockets, different pockets, so that if you lose one thing, you have something else to survive.
Carrying a pepper spray everywhere that I went along. To first make a note of all the emergency numbers in the area and pass these on to your family and friends back home. Also keep them posted about your stay and travel details and in general whatever you're going to be up to during your trip.
So I planned my itinerary accordingly. I researched a lot, read a lot of blogs, watched a lot of videos, and I saved my directions and everything in Google Maps offline.
So make sure you always have a first aid kit in your bag. You never know when that can come to help.
और जो points है, petrol points है या road की condition क्या है, इसके बारे में आपको जानकारी होना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
So try not reaching there in dark hours and also try not taking the road less traveled in the dark hours.
Like being a girl, what I feel is very necessary is to create boundaries. In mind that your safety is in your hands, and the first thing about the first step towards that safety is to maintain your own boundary.
As women, we are well aware of our bodies in a way that we know how much can we stretch when we are on periods or different activities. So when it comes to uncalled periods, whenever you're traveling,
there are washrooms available at each and every petrol pump. You can of course go there and change कर सकते हो या खुद को clean रख सकते हो.
Always ensure that you have either your menstrual cup or your sanitary napkin or a liner in your purse handy, irrespective whether you're expecting a period or not, because you never know.
You know, I always try to keep one pad with me. Like even if I have 3 bags, I'll keep one pad in each. So if I'm carrying 1 bag, I have a pad in that I use. So if it's uncalled, it's okay. I at least have 1 bag.
And more importantly, let those feelings mood swings not come in the way of your awesome experience. Just be mentally prepared for this.
The way to deal with it is to be prepared, with the equipment, sanitary napkins and a bag to dispose them in and carry them back with you. Disposing them in nature is really not recommended.
Travel Buddy is an app where you can find either a local travel buddy or people who are traveling around the same region during your travel dates. So what you have to do is you have to put in your location, you have to put in dates, and then you will be able to see who all will also be there around that time. The feature that I have used and I have also liked is it's easier to connect with similar female travelers on your trip, and this app allows you to select the gender. So when you're putting in your location and your dates, you can also select the gender as female, and then you can find another travel buddy you can explore the place with.
The best feature about the app is that it lets you block or report any unwanted profile, any profile that you feel unsafe from, that you wouldn't want to share your information with. It lets you.
One feature which has stood out for me is that there's actually no spamming on the app, and you can actually send and receive messages from one user at a time.
Travel Buddy मुझे कैसे help करता है या आपको कैसे help करेगा? Almost across India सारे major cities में हमारे travel ambassadors हैं. So आप कहीं भी travel कर रहे हो, आप query पूछिए या आप travel के ambassador के साथ में direct touch में होइए, आप बताइए कि आप ये हैं. They are the best person to guide you. Instead of relying on any stranger or putting a query anywhere or everywhere, just have a faith on travel ambassadors.
One of the main features of this app is you connect to a local traveler. So you will get to know the travelers who are already in their updates, and you get to know their places, their visiting information. So that gives you more idea of how the place is, and it helps you connect to people and other travelers as to how to go about the place that you're traveling.
It helped me so much. It has access to so many personal experiences on a global level for any destinations.
But this feature of getting recommendations from a local firsthand before your trip is something I find extremely useful.
So the one feature that I really like is the messages feature, where it segregates the messages that come from your friends and the ones that are from unknown people.
So Travel Buddy is an amazing app for women solo travelers because it has like 100+ ambassadors and in over 50+ cities. It has a female co-founder, and it always makes the women in the app, like whoever is using the app, it makes them feel secure and safe about themselves. So I really am very happy to be using this app in my travel diaries, and I'm thankful to them that they.
Thank you everyone for listening to this big rant. Before now, next get again. Let's talk a little bit more. So tell us what exactly is stopping you from doing the solo travel. Now you're here, so let's take a quick poll. I'm just launching the poll. So I'm going to stop the poll in 10 seconds. Please put your, so let's just say, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I am going to end the poll. Let's see, let's share the results. Can you guys see? So it's quite interesting. Inner fear, permission, need more info. Now the thing is that need more info, definitely. This is the part where it can be solved. It is absolutely very solvable problem, because you just need to be at the right places. This is the first step which you did. Here you are going to get a lot of information. You can also have more information in various groups in Facebook and Instagram. And definitely I'm going to sell my own product, Travel Buddy. Please join Travel Buddy and you get to know a lot of people where you'll get motivated, because the Travel Buddy is all about travel. But yes, inner fear and permission are the two things which is, especially the inner fear. I can totally relate to that. Whether I should go, whether I should not go, whether it is meant for me, whether it is not meant for me. These are the things which is you have to do it first for the love of God. You cannot think of anything else. Just do it once and you realize that there is nothing to fear. Because what happened many a times, even like, I made a plan with a friend. Okay, I made a plan, but the moment I want the plan is supposed to get started, we feel like, whether we are the right place or not, shall I go or not? Because there is a certain degree of inertia is there. What is the permission, as you just hear from our in the video itself, you just saw that, how the permission has to be taken care of. So a couple of things. Tell whosoever is there what is solo travel. Tell that you are safe. Tell about your whereabouts constantly to your loved ones, be your parents, be your spouse, your partner, anybody, so that once they feel that you are safe, they would be happy to let you go. Another thing is that this is part we are going to come to the next channel. This is a very interesting topic, and I really wanted to take this up, whether solo or a group, because most of the time when we think of solo traveling, we kind of fancy it as that I have to go alone to a destination. It will be all me. I will be taking up a book and I'll be causing the thing. Yes, it is a solo, and it is an absolutely pure form of solo travel. But you need to understand, do you like it? Do you want it? Or do you want some other form of solo traveling? I am, for example, I talk about me. I know me more than I know anyone of you right now. 2011, I got a job in Kolkata. I am basically from Delhi, and I went there, and I full fancied about this, having restaurant, having food alone in a restaurant with a book and all, and I tried that, and I literally hated it. And I don't want to do it again. I didn't like it. It's just not meant for me. And then the next time, whenever, because I used to go from that particular location, I used to pack the food and then I used to go home and have my food. I'm not meant for, or I do it with my friend. I'm not meant for solo, absolutely. I prefer to in group. So it's not like, because many a times we also get a question, so, if we are traveling solo, why do we need a buddy? It's just like two things. To get the local information. Even if you read it for solo travel, tips and tricks, how to travel solo, you will see a lot of places that connect with the local. Ask things from the local. But you are in Jaipur. Whom should you connect with? Do you know anybody? No, I don't. I'm not going to go to a random stranger in the road. Hello, sir, tell me about this thing. Whether the person is a real genuine or whether is a person of a traveler. How do I know? I know it's a pretty security concern. But if you can connect with somebody beforehand from that particular location, it makes your life much more easier. Especially you can have a lot of questions. Like for example, right now also we are going to Mussoorie and Landor. I have asked a question that, what kind of a local food I can have there. And I'm getting a lot of answers. Similarly, if you can become friends beforehand by talking to that person time and again, then when the time comes, you go there, you don't have to be alone all the time. Yes, it's your solo travel. You want to be alone, but you can be in touch with that person and, you can have a great time there. So don't get confused. Okay, if I want to do solo traveling, is it okay for me to go for a group? Yes, you should go for groups. In fact, my personal suggestion is that there are a lot of times these trekking groups happen in various locations. Start with something as simple as that. Okay, mera koi friend nahi chal raha. Okay, don't worry. No friend is coming with me. It's fine with me. Let me just go to one trek group. There are so many trekking groups in Mumbai. I have seen it. If you're in or around Mumbai, you can just join those groups. Similarly in Bangalore as well. And nowadays it is happening in the northern region as well. You wanted to go, just join one of those groups. You will make a lot of new friends. You will expand your horizon. You will see a lot of thought leaders saying that meet at least one stranger every, if not every day, at least every week. You cannot just go to random strangers. You need to have that, like-minded passion. And travel can be a very much of a like-minded passion. So yes, traveling in a group or traveling with a buddy is still considered as a solo travel. It's because it is good to know travel. Social travel networks are the next phase of travel. If you look at it, there are content travels platforms are available. There are OTTs are available, but social travel networks are the next phase of travel, where you travel, you come to my place, I'll show you the place, I come to your place, you show me the place. This is the shared economy, shared gig. It is very common, and it is going to be the next big thing in travel in the coming time. It's always two to tango. Managing expenses. This is kind of interesting. Some of them us know, some of them. I just wanted to touch base it because yes, it is important, and especially when you're in your 20s, when you're 30s, we want to think about it. We will ask this question to our avid travelers as well. For a few tips from my side, hostels, very interesting. I have seen the hostels couple of months. I have never been to hostels, interestingly, but I happened to see hostels 6 months back. I love it. It's really beautiful. The concept is amazing. It was an international concept. Now it is absolutely coming in India in a very, very big way. There are some very good names available. You just Google, you just type, you will find it. Good hostels are available. So those gives you a very nice, you can connect with them, all youth, young travelers, you can connect to them, you can have a nice talk to them. They are usually that intellectual, corporate crowd. So you'll not feel out of the place as well. Stay with local host. It can be interesting, like the Airbnbs of the world. It's a shared economy, shared gig. That's what I said. You come to my place, I come to your place. It's a shared thing, obviously, to reduce cost, a lot of cost. Meet a local via travel buddy. I have seen a lot of people does that. One girl, there is a previous picture. I remember she put up a saying that Khushi from Ahmedabad met Tanya for Pune, and they met in some other place altogether. So meet a local via travel buddy. Yes, can be done. Join group activities, as I mentioned, very interesting, very nice, and it can definitely brings a lot of inhabitation, trekking activities doing, or some other activities which can be a group activity but can be icebreakers. Using public transport, obviously we are talking about reducing the cost, budgeting our expenses. So shared transport can be a good option. Like in the hotel, you can check out what kind of a shared transports are available. So that's a reason, again, hostels become very interesting. If you're a hostel, then there are obviously the groups are there, even individual are there. So they can just check out, where are we going? Okay, can I just tag along? That kind of, it reduce the cost, and it really helps. So these are the questions which I got from the questionnaires. I've picked up randomly. Please don't mind. There is no numbering is there. So I'll try to answer them randomly, and I'll also ask a couple of my ambassadors to answer them, so that we can also have a chat. Feel free to answer. You wanted to take this question up, feel free to raise your hand so that we can also have a chit chat session. But here is a couple of questions. Top 3 destination for travel solo. Please don't go for top 3 destinations. Just take up anything which you're comfortable nearby, or go for very known destination to begin with. If you're doing it in the starting, you're in the starting sphere. Should it be self-planned or with groups? It can be anything. You want to just be prepared, be planned. It can be self-planned, or you can also take up groups. Don't hesitate just because I want to do solo travel. I don't want to be in group, because will it be considered solo travel? Yes, it is. Start with groups. Once you're comfortable with group, you can also start with alone. I mean, there is no, because that will take you out of your comfort zone. That kind of answers the third question. How do you get out of the comfort zone? Do it first. Do it in any form. Maybe you are doing a group, where you're doing a self-plan, you're talking to somebody, a stranger from a travel buddy. Just come out with it. Just do it once. Like, I believe this is your first step, because you can take out, in a Sunday afternoon, rather than doing something more important, you came here, you're listening to this 1 hour of rant, you are already out of your comfort zone. How to find out if solo traveling is really my thing? This is something which you have to experience first. Do it. And then you will know whether it is your cup of tea or not. But I believe that solo traveling has to be your cup of tea. It is everybody's cup of tea if you do it once. I have never traveled solo in India. How do I even get it started with international travel? It doesn't seem as easy as booking an airline ticket. True, it's not wrong. But it is easier than India, I will say that. Because many international locations, I'll not say all the international locations, but many international locations are safe for women. So it's not, you just have to buy the tickets. Again, plan, again, tell your parents, tell somebody that where are you going. And here, a lot of your documentations has to be taken care of. Documentations needs to be in place. You should be very much prepared with the documentation. Like, for example, if you're planning for Europe, you're going to one country to another country. What are the things? Because many times they've been said you can go by the road. Do you need some sort of visa? What sort of documentation are required? So plan ahead. If you plan ahead, everything is very easy. And then another interesting thing is, those are groups available in various forms. Travel buddies there, groups, Facebook groups are there. You can ask questions. That is also because you get a first-hand experience. Somebody is just telling you what are some tips to trust the locals, to connect with them? What are some tips to trust the locals, to connect with them and come out of your shell? Somebody wants to take this question. Maybe from Monica. Monica has a lot of experience here. Monica, do you want to take this question? Monica Vaswani, there?
Hi, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. How can you trust?
Yeah, you're talking about the first question, right?
Yes, I'm talking about the first question.
So what I have tried and worked for me is, firstly, there are always friends and friends of friends, and that extended network that you can always reach out to. So that has worked out for me personally as an experience. But what can also work out is, like you also mentioned earlier, if you're staying in a hostel or a hotel or an Airbnb, especially if I talk about an Airbnb or a hostel or other hostel scenario, then these are mostly young people who are hosting in such places, and they would definitely be able to kind of tell you around. And you can trust them because they are there in the established space. And especially if it's a branded chain, the trust develops more. So I personally prefer some of those when I need to trust a local. And like you said, always I keep my tap on who's ambassador, travel buddy ambassador in which city, because these are those set of people who are not only avid travelers, but they know in and out of their cities at least. So, and because they are travel buddy ambassadors, that level of trust or dependency is also, relatively higher compared to any other unknown local. So, those are a couple of things.
Yeah. How do I motivate other women around me to take leap and travel solo? That's very nice question. Thank you for asking this question. Just talk about it. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm talking about it. I took up the opportunity. I tied up with Leap so that, I can talk about traveling solo. You also talk about it. If you like travel, just put it in your social channel, talk about it so that, other women feel that, oh, achha, okay, Monica is traveling, let me also travel. Or Prerna is traveling, let me also travel. That really helps. How do you figure out multi-country visa? So this is something which you have to, I was not exactly sure what is the question here, but I recently discovered a very good Facebook group. So, and it talks a lot about, international travel, and it's talk about more about all these visas and papers and documents and all. So you can also join one of those groups. It really helps, because sometimes if I'm traveling to Europe, I know more about Europe more than anybody else, because I just did all those, I just did all those formalities. And then it's always good to connect with the local and somebody who is already doing this. How to eradicate fear of travel solo? You have to do it once before you cannot. And how to convince Indian parents? Just tell them that this is what solo travel is. this is what solo travel is, and this is how you're going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I am safe. It is safe to travel. You can just make somebody, show them certain videos, and which is available in the social sphere, and you can talk about it. That's how you're going to convince. Talk and talk to them. That's me, Leap Club, Paramita B. Chakraborty. That's in LinkedIn. That's in Travel Buddy. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Okay, by the way, picture abhi baki hai, abhi khatam nahi hua hai. We want to keep it doing. We want to do this again and again. I mean, we don't want to stop here. We want to keep these interactions going. So Shivya Nath, she's a renowned speaker. Yes, Roshni, please.
I like to.
Sorry.
I'd like
yeah.
to share about my experience.
Yes.
Like, I've had a chance to travel solo twice, and my parents have actually encouraged me to travel solo. It's been the other way around. I was the one who feared traveling alone, and thanks to my parents, because in our house everybody travels alone. I was the last one to start traveling on my own, and my mother goes out on her own, and my father does. It's difficult for us to travel together now because we all have to obviously compromise and adjust on a lot of things. So, but yeah, my experience has been fabulous, and I've learned so much. But yeah, till now I've been in a comfort zone because I've traveled solo only internationally. So I actually wanted to be part of this to understand how to travel within India, because that is something that I fear of because of primarily safety concerns.
Yes. So I know because Monica is here. She is the part of our Travel Buddy group for a long time. Monica, do you want to take it up maybe because you want to give a couple of tips to Roshni to how to travel in India? Because I know that she's quite an avid traveler, and recent times also I've seen like crazy pictures from her making everybody's.
Thank you. Thank you, Paramita. Hi, Roshni, and hi, everybody. So, Roshni, don't mind, but there was some disturbance. Could you repeat if there was any specific question?
So the specific question is that, I have a safety concern with respect to traveling within India, and that's always been my fear. Like I've always traveled solo, but internationally and never locally. Yeah.
So in India, so my first solo travel was in Goa. And especially South Goa, I found super safe compared to North Goa, because North Goa, there's usually a lot of crowd and the mix of crowd is huge. South Goa, relatively, you'll find a mix of foreigners and people who are relatively calmer and all of that. The vibe is totally different. So that was about one of the destinations from my experience. But in general, try to pick a destination where you know at least someone, as in maybe a friend or maybe a relative or a cousin. So if it's a city, or especially for the first time in India, if it's a metro city or if it's a known city that you've gone before for some other purpose, it becomes very comfortable. So for me today, let's say going to Hyderabad for a solo travel will be a good first step. Let's say if I was starting, because I do have 2 friends there. I do know the city is a metro city. So the kind of infrastructure, maybe, the dependencies about other things, places to hang out and all of that would be easier. So especially if you have fear initially, I would say try the cities of your comfort. Now, cities of your comfort can vary. I just gave my example. But there was a question that came up before, like, what are the top 3 destinations? So while I'm speaking, I would just like to mention those 3. First, I already did. South Goa is one. Goa as a whole, you'll find relatively kind of, it's a chill place, so it will be more safe. I would say try South Goa for the people who want to try not the city, but a beach location. Secondly, I've found Kerala really safe. I've traveled to Kerala like 5 or 6 times personally, and I keep going there again and again. Next week also, I'm traveling to Kerala. I have really found even the local bus, the general bogie of a local train, also super safe. I have never felt that. And surprisingly, it's a different language. I'm personally from North India in MP, but because I've been in Bangalore for past 4 years, so I've been exploring more destinations in South India. So I have really found it amazingly, like I said, safe, and also, of course, it's beautiful. The state itself is beautiful. If you ask me to pick up one destination from Kerala, then it's called Varkala Beach. Trust me, it's one of the best beaches in India. For the first time when I went there, I was like, is it even India? Because there's a beach on a hilltop. So try picking those spaces, read the travel blogs, try picking those spaces or places which are relatively safer. So this is the second. First was South Goa, and the third I would say Bangalore. not just because I'm here, but I have been here past 4 years, and I have traveled alone 3 a.m., 2 a.m. in the buses of Bangalore. I'm not even talking about the cab. So trust me, this is one of the safest cities after Mumbai that I have personally felt. I've stayed in Mumbai also for 1 year. So no doubt that's one of the safest cities that we safe for women, especially. But even Bangalore, I've stayed here 4 years, and not for a single day have I felt that, it's not safe or you can't just travel alone. So these three, I would say definitely try. It's all safe, and there are of course so many places to see here.
Okay, Deepthi has a question. Deepthi, please.
Hi. I just want to share my experience, but also like add a little to Roshni's question, right? So I'm in my mid-30s and starting my journey of solo travel now. I believe, well, it's okay to be late than never, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
So I've started taking very baby steps with solo travel. I've done 2 now. So one I did was in US because I had a friend there. So I stayed there, made that my base, and I thought that was really helpful. So I think a lot of trips that were shared right now, I've made notes of it, but followed most of it. But Roshni, I think very similar to what you felt about India, right? I was like, okay, I don't know how safe it is in India and how much can you do that. But very recently, a few things that worked for me was I went to Manali. I did my first solo travel there. I'm unfortunately somebody who has a phobia of dogs, and it's a very, very intense phobia. And therefore, a lot of places, especially in India, become tricky for me. Like Goa, I can't go to a beach by myself because they're dogs, right? So for me, that's a big, big challenge. It was also a big challenge in Manali because Manali also has a lot of dogs. But it's the first time I tried hostels. And I was amazed at how amazing the hostels were. So I went to Alt Life, which was one of the hostels. And what worked for me, which is very similar to what Travel Buddy does, is this time when I did it, I actually told all my friends that I'm doing this travel. I said, hey, I'm going to Manali. I'd done a lot of research, so I knew the places to go to. And I told everybody around me, like, hey, I'm going there. And to my surprise, I had 2 other people join me. So I had a friend that joined me, and I had a friend's sister who joined me, where she was like, hey, is it okay if my sister joins you? I was like, yeah, sure. So for India, I think that was helpful. And that's the reason I really like this call with Travel Buddy, because once you know where you want to go and then you just make sure that people join you was helpful, right? I know it's a little odd question, but how do you manage this phobia bit? I don't know if that's something that can be managed, but are there any tips around that on, can you inform hostels and any known hostels that are recommended?
For the you have the dog phobia. I think I heard the question. See, the thing is that you have to consult. I mean, have you consulted a doctor or something? Is it like
Yes. I've been taking therapy for that, and therefore I've been able to do Manali.
Okay, that's lovely. See, I have never, since it's a phobia, but I never seen in a very touristy area that you will see a lot of dogs. And if you have a phobia about it, so you should be maybe tell this to beforehand to wherever you're going to somewhere, if you remotely have this thing inside your head, because for example, the friendly pet dogs are there in a certain location, in resorts or something, if you go. So if you, like, for example, you're going to a resort, you can tell the resort owner that I have a phobia, so that particular part is there. Maybe they can give you a location which is not there, no pets are allowed. But yeah. I believe that, honestly, this is a new kind of a question. Even I've never faced something like that. But I believe that, just be aware of it, that, you have a phobia, and tell the other person, communicate. Ultimately, every problem has the same solution, communicate. Tell the other person, tell wherever you're going. Maybe you're going to a touristy place and you might feel that, something might be attacking you in terms of a dog, or in terms of a phobia, or keep a small stick with you just to get yourself more feel comfortable about it. That is what I think of right now on the top of me. But, communication is the key factor here.
No, I completely agree. I think, even when I was shortlisting hostels, like I spoke to a lot of folks on this. And then fortunately, I found a hostel that said, we have dogs, but they're not allowed to enter the hostel. So I said, okay, that's fine. Right?
Yeah, because I know, because even hostels and these resorts and all, they keep the, even my daughter want to go to, for her to go to a resort means that there has to be a dog, because she can't have it in her house. So one of the reasons they want to travel, so that they can have a dog in that particular place. So, but then since you are phobic, you can just tell them. I think most of the time people obliged. That's a beauty of the travel. They if you ask politely, you'll get what you want. So that's the beauty of the things. So thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, the 1 hour just flew by, and I thought that I might not have so many things to talk about. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Deepti, Roshni, Divya, Shalini, Prerna, everybody. A warm thank you. If you want to talk, if you want to tell something, please feel free. You can ask any question. Vidhi has just shared a feedback form. We will really appreciate if you can, send your feedback here. One of the interesting thing is that with your email ID, if you download the app and start using it, we will going to give you 1 month verified subscription, just to get a feel of it. It has additional features and benefit where you can connect to a local. So hopefully it will help you for your solo travel journey in a better way. So please do submit the feedback form. It will just take 1 minute or maximum 2 minutes of your time. And please do download the app. And because there are more upcoming activities, not for free downloads. Obviously, I'm going to get that, but you're going to get a lot of activities, which I have sent, because I want more and more women in the travel segment. And Shivyana, and I have already spoken to her. I was hoping to get her in this particular event only, but unfortunately, she was traveling this weekend. So she was going to be a speaker very soon. She is one of the pioneers in solo traveling. She is a TEDx speaker. She's a travel blogger. She's a writer, and she has left her cushy, corporate job for traveling. So I believe that maybe next session we can have how to travel and earn from it, being a travel blogger. So we can have topics like that. So we are going to have more and more these topics. Please do join, everybody. Please do give the event feedback. And thank you so much for taking your time on the Sunday afternoon and joining with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.